Hello, everyone. We are live with WKDW 97.5 FM, Real Community Radio. I am coming out of my home, but we will be airing from Northport, Florida, from the Bishop West Real Estate Mobile Tower. Today, I'm really excited for my sleuthing show to have on somebody that I've come to really know and really like. And the place that she's the executive director at, I've come to love, and so will you. And they have a lot of exciting things happening there, and it's an outdoor venue. And I froze. Wow, I normally never freeze, so it's usually a good internet here. Anyhow, I want to bring up my guest today, and today I have Adriana, and Adriana, I'm going to kill your last name, when I bring her up. She's the executive director of the Peace River Botanical and Sculpture Gardens in Punta Gorda, Florida. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Yeah,
And,
don't worry about the name. Everyone butchers it.
well, how do you say your last name?
It's Quiñones because my father's from Puerto Rico. So, it's got those strange letters that aren't English letters in it.
Well, it has an N-Y in it.
Exactly.
Right? So it's
Quiñones. Yeah. I always tell people that say the first N like a Y, and then you kind of get it.
Oh, okay. Because I personally have trouble speaking English, so add another language in there sometimes isn't the greatest thing. The reason that I wanted to have you on with me for the show today is because you have some exciting things happening out at the Peace River Botanical and Sculpture Gardens. And because of us all in a lockdown type situation, outdoor venues is the way to go. And your venue is outdoors.
Yes.
When you come to the Peace River and Botanical and Sculpture Gardens, it's outdoors. The only thing you have is your shop, right?
Yeah,
your
that's right.
Shop that's indoors.
Yeah.
So why don't you tell me a little bit about what you have coming up? And I have your website here, and I can actually bring it up, and I'm going to mute myself right.
Okay. All right. So should I keep talking? Yeah, I guess I'm going to keep talking here. So this is our second time to put on what we're calling Gardens Aglow. And it's a holiday celebration with lights. We light up our whole garden, and we have, I don't know, this year I've doubled the lights. So I would say let's say hundreds of thousands of lights are hung. I want to someday say millions, but we're not quite there yet. But we have the whole garden lit up, both sides. Last year, we only lit up the north side of our garden. We're on either side of Riverside Drive. And this year, because of COVID, we kind of did actually debate whether we should try to do this or not. But we thought this is an outdoor venue. People can social distance here. And it's a gift that we can give our community after everyone's been in lockdown and worried about being around people. This is something we felt was a great gift that we could give our community by lighting up the garden and having this beautiful place outside for people to enjoy the holidays. So this year we actually are lighting up both sides of the road. So when you pull into the garden on the south side, that side will also be lit up. And we have some food trucks coming. So there'll be food here. I think we have some hot dog truck and pizza and maybe some ice cream. So all those yummy things. We also have a fire pit. We did that last year. Everyone loved it. So we're going to do it again. And you can buy a little s'mores kit. And each kit makes 4 s'mores. And then take your kit over to the fire pit and actually roast your own marshmallows and make your own s'mores while you're here as well. As you walk around the garden, you'll see all the beautiful lights. Like I said, we've doubled what we had last year, and we have 2 loops throughout the garden that you can go through to see everything. We have, I don't want to give everything away, but but we have some animations, some things to watch, some new features that we have that are really fun to see. I think it's going to be really beautiful and really fun. We've been working really hard for the last month and a half, putting lights up. We're still a really small organization. We are up to 9 employees here, including me. And most of us are part-time. We only have a few full-time people, but we have a lot of really great volunteers too. And they've come out, put up lights with me, done all kinds of stuff. So it's been really, really fun, and to see the garden start to really get lit up and beautiful. So, but it is our second year, and while we want everyone to social distance while they're out here, so we have a map that you'll get when you get here, and it does have two one-way loops. So there's 2 loops. They're both one way. You're going to follow that same path. There are a couple places where we can't do a loop, and you're going to have to pass by people going one way or the other. And we just ask that everyone remember to bring their masks, wear their masks when they're within 6 feet of somebody not in your group, and just try to keep the social distance. As long as you're not right up next to somebody that's not in your group, you can kind of take down your mask if you feel comfortable, or leave it up. All our staff will be wearing masks as well, so we'll be safe. The only place you have to wear a mask is when you go into our building, which Marie mentioned. Our Garden Community Center will be open. We'll have hot chocolate in there that you can buy, a gift shop. We bought some really cool little things that you might be able to use as gifts this Christmas, and some treats in there. We do have Santa in a very unique way. We will be having him some of the time virtually. As often as we can pull him away from making toys and gifts for everyone, we're going to try to get him on the Zoom. It's the new era, right? So Santa's
absolutely
been a few times.
And when you're talking about that, I'm in the background, so I have a lot of things happening in my life here.
I know.
So if you hear me go mute right now, I have somebody in the other room drilling. I want to talk to you about the music too. You'll have music going on, like Christmas stuff. If I could sing, I would sing, but I don't want the audience to turn off right now.
Yeah, we'll have music throughout the garden. We've tried to get some groups to come out, but it's a little hard. We're finding out to actually get the groups to come out just because of people being a little worried about
for caroling.
Yeah, for caroling.
Well, if anybody's listening right now,
Yeah.
or if you know of anybody out there that socially distancing, of course, that would like to do caroling, that is something that to reach out to Adriana. And if you notice, going across the bottom of the screen is all their information, and it's Peace River Gardens. Their Instagram account is Peace River Gardens.
Yeah.
And your phone number, I think, should be scrolling across there too. And what's your phone number?
It is 941-621-8299.
That must be Bill's phone number I have scrolling up there, right?
Uh-oh. Bill's going to get all the calls.
I'll have to change that as we're talking here. And also, I want to talk about the fresh Jersey tomatoes, because they have a toy drive going, and they're raising, they're actually having toys donated for the Charlotte Behavioral Health Center for the children that are, and I think of the families, and I'll actually read this. Tell me a little bit about that, Adriana, about the toy drop.
Well, so we are I always say that I want the garden to partner with as many other groups as possible, because I think together we become stronger community when we can partner together and all help everyone within our community. So one of the ways that we're doing that is we are partnering with the Fresh Jersey Tomatoes. They are doing their 5th annual toy drive. And so we have a box here at the garden. They have boxes throughout the community. So, this is not the only place you can donate, but we want to do our part too and get people to come in and donate a gift. If they do donate a gift, we'll give them $1 off their admission, and they'll be able to come into the garden and see the garden. We have to kind of adjust that a little bit because our tickets are only sold online right now, or you can buy them in person, but only if you come directly to the garden during our regular business hours. So during regular business hours, you can come to the garden and buy your tickets for Gardens Aglow. Otherwise, if you can't do that, you have to go online and buy them. There'll be no ticket sales at the door during the event. And we're doing that to keep the line from forming too big and keep the people moving through quick enough. We don't want people gathering together too closely. But if you do come by and donate to the Fresh Jersey Tomatoes toy drive, then we will give you $1 off your admission when you come into the garden. So it's a win-win for everyone.
And I'm going to show people where to go here, because this is your Gardens Aglow. This is your website here.
Right.
Can you see it up on screen?
I can. Yeah. Okay. So you can see there, if you click on that link for tickets, which I don't have my glasses on, is really small.
Yeah.
But there is a link there that says click here. And if you click on that link, it'll take you directly to the page where you can buy tickets. So you can literally go to our website. I think I'm trying to point to my screen.
Well, I know that when you go to upcoming events and you click on 2nd Annual Garden Aglow, and it will have all the information here for you. It's the Peace River Botanical and Sculpture Gardens presents Gardens Aglow. And it's only on the weekends from the 11th through the 13th, 18th through the 20th, and 22nd through the 23rd, and the 29th through the 30th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And the last admission of the night is at 8:15. Members tickets, go ahead if you can see it.
So the tickets are $8 if you're a member.
And she froze. So
it is, because I looked at some other places and it's a lot more expensive. But we wanted to keep it reasonable so that people would have a nice, safe place to enjoy the holidays. And then if you're a student, it's only $5. And if you're 4 and under, it's free. You just get to bring all the babies.
Yeah. So absolutely. And 5 to 18, and then 4 and under is free. And to make sure that you go to the link below, you have to go to their website to do this. And if you go to the link below, if you notice on this link here, you pick out which night that you want to go, and you just click on it, and it's going through Eventbrite, I believe, right?
Yes, right through Eventbrite, exactly. So it'll take you right to the place to buy your tickets for that day. So you do have to pick which day you're going to go. And then once you know the day you want to come, then you go and buy your tickets for that day. And I do want to say that even though we're saying no tickets sales at the door, this website, you can just pull it up on your smartphone, even while you're in our parking lot, and buy the ticket. You don't have to, wait way ahead. If you think, I want to wait and see if it's going to be a good night to go, you can go on that evening all the way up to the time that we stop selling tickets, which is at 8, and buy a ticket. So you can literally be in our parking lot and buy a ticket if you wanted to. But we just try to encourage everyone to buy them a little earlier, because we want to make sure that you get to come on the night that you want to come. Because if we sell too many tickets, we're going to shut it down and say that's the limit that our garden can hold right now. So
what is that limit? And I want to, for the audience now, I'm going to air a little sneak peek from last year's event so they can hear. This is the holiday season. See the gardens in a whole new light. Look at how gorgeous at the Gardens Aglow. These are some of the sculptures that they do have here. And Adriana, jump in.
Oh yeah, so it's talking about and here you can see some of our lights. We lit up our sculptures at home. What's one of the things is that you don't usually get to see the garden at night because we're closed. And so it's a whole different feeling to walk through the gardens and see it lit up with the Christmas lights and see all the sculptures uplit and have all that happening. It's just a really different feeling. It's kind of exciting and it gets you kind of in the mood to really start celebrating the holidays. And so it's really fun. And, you see the kids running around and just really enjoying that kind of, forbidden time when you get to be outside in the dark,
And Santa's going to be there.
Yes. We will have Santa. So Santa's zooming in some nights, but he is able to break away a little bit from making toys and gifts for everyone. And he's going to be here on a few selected nights. And we'll be posting those nights soon as we confirm with him which nights he can be here. But while he's here in person, he will be still socially distancing. So no sitting on his lap, but we will have a great way that you can talk to him and still be safe. And the nights that he's not there, we have a mailbox out where you can put your letter to Santa, and we'll make sure that he answers them and that we get them to him, and he'll make sure that he gives you an answer back. And so there's still lots of ways to interact with Santa while you're here at Gardens Aglow, which we love.
I'm so excited. Could you lean over mirror image to the other side so we can see the snowman back there? Hello. And that's a Florida snowman.
And here's our other Florida snowman.
And that's excellent. And that's one thing for any of you listening on the radio, just go to the Facebook page or our YouTube channel for KDW Radio or WKDW 97.5. And if you really are adventurous, you can go to my own Facebook page, and it's under Marie LaBrosse to watch this video so you can actually see in person some of the beautiful things and how beautiful it is behind you with the gardens and all. No, Adriana, I do have Nan's information pulled up here, and I'm going to take me off screen because normally I would be in a beautiful background, but the last weeks, because of things that are going on in my house, I have to be in this office. So I'm going to take me off screen, put you up on screen, and I'm going to read exactly Nan's press release.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. The Fresh Jersey Tomatoes, a group of women originally from New Jersey who now reside in Charlotte County, are holding their 5th annual FJT, which is Florida, a Fresh Jersey Tomatoes toy drive for underprivileged children currently receiving services from Charlotte Behavioral Health Care. And Nan Leonard, in case anybody doesn't know her, and she's going to kill me because I mentioned her on air, but was a founder. And Nan is a wonderful person. She's been ambassador, I think, of the year for the Punta Gorda Chamber, I think almost 5 years. She's only lived here a short time. Her mother, who is 97, is the Sunshine Lady for the PGI Civic Association for Punta Gorda. And when Nan got here, everybody knows Nan now too. It runs in the genes. Her mom really actually taught Nan well. Anyhow, the thing is they really need gifts for children 13 to 18 because they get a lot of gifts for the younger children, but they don't get enough. Right, Adriana, for the older kids.
And that's one of the reasons we partner with them. We want to make sure that there's no child that doesn't get a gift at Christmas. That's, you just don't want that, or Hanukkah or whatever it is you celebrate. Because I want to be as inclusive as possible here. Children deserve gifts during the holidays, right? And if we can do our little part to help, we're asking our community to chip in and do their little part to help. And definitely that age group, gosh, I have 3 kids and I remember that age. That's a hard age to
It
get them
really is.
gifts for. But
And if
I'm sure that if you call Nan or the Fresh Jersey Tomatoes, they probably have a list of suggestions as well.
Well, they do. In fact,
yeah,
her flyer here, and she does have a list up. I think it's on the Charlotte Behavioral Health Center. And if you're listening, put that down where that is. And I'm not gonna list the younger kids. I'm gonna list the older ones because I know that that's where it's lacking.
yeah,
But
that's a hard group.
yeah, in fact, I'm looking at this and I think I actually have brand new things in my home. Books, journals, backpacks, strategy and board games, sports equipment or memorabilia, bath and body gifts, makeup sets, fishing poles, purses, wallets, model cars, airplanes, science kits, custom jewelry, watches, art supplies, and project kits, gift cards to Walmart or Target, MP3 players, bikes. And if you get some electronics, please supply the batteries because batteries become expensive especially if it's a struggling family. And I know even for myself, if you buy something for the kids, and you better have the batteries there. If it takes batteries, because come that Christmas Day when you're opening up gifts,
nothing worse than getting a gift
batteries,
you can't use.
yeah, and everything's closed, and you're not, and nobody. The kids get upset. You get upset. You go to the gas station. You end up paying a lot more money for them at that time.
Just put the batteries in. Just
Yeah.
get the batteries. If you buy something, get the batteries. In fact, get batteries. Like if you're going to give gifts and nothing has batteries, throw in a pack of AA batteries anyway, because I guarantee they have something they're going to get that needs batteries anyway. It's a nice little bonus gift.
Let's talk about back to the gardens here. Let's talk about facelifts that you've had to do. Tell me a little bit about the background of Roger Terrell, the Tetrault.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, the founder.
So Roger and Linda are our founders, and back in I would say 2004 or so. They had lived here for a while. They built their home here. They loved the Punta Gorda community, and they wanted to give something back to this community. And they already were lovers of art, and they loved gardens. They would always stop and see gardens as they traveled, and so they thought, well, what would be a great thing to give to the community? And that's how they came up with the Botanical and Sculpture Garden, because it combined both their love of gardening and their love of art. And so they started acquiring the land that was surrounding them to eventually build the gardens. And it took them a few years, a lot of infrastructure, a lot of permitting, that sort of thing. But they were able to really start construction in about 2012 and started building the gardens. And, their goal was to protect this area because, we are right on the Peace River. We are surrounded by mangrove groves and wetlands with beautiful native plants. And the goal was to protect this little slice of Peace River estuary forever, and but also add a beautiful garden in the process as well. And so we have this beautiful mix of both landscaped gardens and natural areas that we're protecting from any more development. And so that was kind of their vision. They wanted to give this to the community. I always tell people, if you notice, it's not called the Tetrault Botanical Garden because they really did not want it to be associated with them. They wanted it to be part of our community. And so So that's how it started. We've opened to the public 3 years ago in October of 17. And so we're still a relatively new garden, but we have lots of plans, and we do have one building on the grounds, our Garden Community Center, that kind of serves as a multi-purpose facility. It has our offices, has a small gift shop and snack bar, and our restrooms are in there. But that's just the start of it. And we have 16 sculptures from artists from all over the world. The sculptures, we have from Turkey, um, Indonesia, China, and then of course we have locally some sculptures that were made here. We have one artist, Bob Richards, who's got his sculpture here. He's a local woodworker right here from Port Charlotte, Punta Gorda area. But then we have 4 Carol Furmans, and Carol is an artist out of New York City, and she started with 2 other people the hyper realistic movement of sculpture, and this was back in the 70s, 60s and 70s. And she started making these sculptures that literally look like they're alive. And so we have 4 of them here on the grounds. Unfortunately, even though you would think that because they're painted with car paint, you'd think that would hold up, but Florida sun is brutal. And they deteriorated quite a bit in the Florida sun. And so we were, by luck of whatever you want to call it, we talked to Carol, and she agreed with us that we needed to find somebody who could refurbish them, somebody who would know how to do this kind of hyper realistic art. And it would have been too much for her to come back herself. So by the luck of the draw, we were able to secure an artist who was just coming out of the Marines, and she was a combat artist in the Marines, which means that she was a full-blooded Marine. She could do everything that Marines do and did. She was deployed and everything, but part of her job was to document through her art what the Marines did. So that's what the combat art program is. She's still involved with that as a civilian as well. But she was just coming out of the Marines, and she agreed to come out here and refurbish one of our sculptures. Just so happens that happens to be my daughter. So
how convenient, yeah. Is BB on the Ball? Which one did you just refurbish?
BB on the Ball has not been refurbished yet.
Okay.
It is New York City Slicker that was refurbished, and I think you probably can find that one there.
Yeah.
But she is coming back actually to do some work on BB. There, that's it. Yeah. So that one is the one she refurbished. Of the 4 sculptures we have from Carol, New York City Slicker is resin based. In other words, it's not bronze under there, it's a resin base. And because of that resin, it wore a lot quicker than the other ones that are bronze under the paint. And so she really was looking pretty bad. I used to just tell people she had a sunburn or something.
Something like that. I wanted to ask about that. Do you put any coating? Because I know when they do the murals around town, there's a graffiti coating that they put over.
That's right.
The murals. So
these sculptures were not necessarily treated with a UV coating when they were originally done, and that was part of the problem. But Elise came and after she painted everything, she used a UV coating. She's done a lot of murals around the country as well, and already knew how to protect them from the sun. So,
well, and you know what? That is one of the things that a lot of people don't realize. Just to even keep up a sculpture like this, it takes funds to do that, and
it really does.
And because of COVID, and let's talk a little bit about how that has affected you.
Yeah.
I'll keep the screen up so people can see some of the other things that you have going on. What
So
kind of
COVID,
yeah,
yeah.
go ahead and you talk about that.
Okay, so COVID, it was a difficult time for everyone. No doubt about that. We had to literally shut down the garden because the garden is the way we operate. Our funding comes from all of you who are listening, from visiting the garden, becoming members of the garden, having an event like your wedding or your corporate event or some kind of event where you rent our facilities, um, gift shop sales, all of this. These are the ways that we make money to run the garden. We don't have an endowment. We don't have some, money that just gets handed to us. We don't have, we do get some grants, but we have to apply for those. But it's really your support by coming in and visiting the garden is how we run this garden, how we build new garden beds, how we keep everything up. By shutting down, that meant we had no money coming in, and we had to furlough most of our staff, which was very hard. And I'm speaking because all of our nonprofits really suffered during this time. The funding that was out there, a lot of it was for social services. So you may have been a nonprofit, but you were doing social services, such as working with the homeless or helping with the food bank. And they were able to raise money and stay afloat and do that. But cultural institutions, even though we try very hard to be a big part of what's going on, um, there was less funding for us. So it was difficult. And as we try to rebound, and that sun's right in my eyes, as we try to rebound and keep going and keep making programs such as our Gardens Aglow, such as our, we had a veterans event, these kinds of things. These are the ways that we are trying to keep involved in our community, but also keep the garden going. So, but we've rebounded, because it is an outdoor venue. It's a little easier for people to come out, and people are starting to hear about us. They find this to be such a unique, different type of garden than some other ones. We have the sculptures. It's very open. It's very well maintained. People love that. And so we've actually seen a lot of people coming to the garden for the very first time, and both locally and around the Southwest Florida area. And I will thank Marie also at this point, just because, getting on the air and being able to talk to all of you is one of the ways that we can kind of expand and let people know about us without having to spend a lot of money to do so. So we're very thankful for the opportunity to be able to let people know about our events in the garden. So,
Well, and I'm very grateful to even have a place in Charlotte County like this. And I know I'm getting wind in case people are hearing that. That's from your phone, Adriana. We're getting some wind back, wind blowing.
yeah, it's blowing right now. And
And
a
it's
plane just went by.
oh, okay. Well, that's what happens when you're outside. And those are the things and the unique things. I'm gonna bring the information up. Actually, if you look across the bottom, it's the information with the correct phone number.
There you go. Yep, that's right. Yeah, and so we, during the day, we're open Tuesday through Sunday from 9 to 4. Um, we are in the summertime, we do shorten our hours a little bit just because it's so hot in the afternoon. So we close at 2 instead of 4. But really, it's a beautiful time to be in the garden right now. It's really, really nice, and you can come and just, even though evenings we have Gardens Aglow, but just during the day it's really beautiful. You can go right out onto the river, sit out on our gazebo out there, and just really have a beautiful time out here. People really love it. And also we are accessible. I like to mention that as well. Everything that we are doing here at the garden, we do it with the mind of accessibility, so that if you have mobility issues or some other type of issues, that you can still enjoy the garden. We have a sensory garden where you can touch things, smell things, and one of my most proud things that we've been able to do is work with the Loveland Center, because the Loveland Center brings in their clients, but they are our friends, not clients. And they come once a week and they work. I mean, we don't give them just like fluff stuff to do. They're out there weeding and doing all kinds of stuff, and they just love it out here. So, and we were able to get another grant through the Congregational United Church of Christ that was able to provide adaptable tools for them to use. So, I just like to say that because, when I say I think this garden should be indispensable. So I wasn't sure if I cut out or not.
You did cut out there for a minute, but that's okay.
I think my battery is getting low, and I'm worried now that I'm going to die on you here.
No, that's okay. Well, I'm looking at the time. We have about 10 more minutes, so it's not that bad.
Okay.
As we're talking about this, and I have the address actually here on one of these scrolls here. You're at 5827 Riverside Drive in Punta Gorda. And for a lot of people that are not familiar with your area, you're going to have to use their GPS because it's not signed real well because you're working with DOT. You got to go through DOT to get the right signage on it.
We are working on getting some better signage. It's a process, but the easiest way to tell people where we are is to say we're not in Punta Gorda city limits directly. We're about 5 miles. What would that be?
East of 75.
Yeah, east of 75. So if you're getting off at 75, it's exit 164, which is 17. You're going to go towards Arcadia, but not that far, just a few miles down the road. And eventually you'll get to turn and get over to Riverside Drive, which runs parallel to 17. But it's really, really close. And so it's not that hard to get to. It's just you've got to know where you're going and understand it's not in Punta Gorda directly. It's just outside of the city limits.
Right. And if you miss the first turn, there's another one that you can.
Yeah, that's right. There's like 3 turns you can make to get to us. So don't fret. And we are working with DOT. So we're going to get those signs out somehow or another. I'm going to get those signs out.
Yeah, that's crazy because I know that's always been a real big issue out there. And I want to talk a little bit too about your parking. You don't park at the gardens. Well, you can park at the gardens, but it's property across the street.
Right. I would like to talk about that because that's one of my pet peeves of what people say. They're always like, well, the parking lot is so far away from the garden. And it's not. Our garden is literally on both sides of Riverside Drive. So you're going to pull into our parking lot and you're going to park, and there is plenty to see on that side. In fact, we're building more and more on that side of the road. In fact, in the future, with your support, not just you, Marie, but everyone who's listening, with everyone's support, we're going to be able to build our new visitor center on that side of the road. So really, that's actually the main part of the garden. It's just not built yet.
Oh, okay.
But once you park, you'll get to walk, and you'll walk through that side of the garden, and you'll actually cross Riverside Drive, and you'll come to the other side of the garden. But on the parking side now, we also have a butterfly pavilion that we've put in. We have a beautiful bridge that's going across the wetland, and you'll be able to see a beautiful view of the wetland. And it's going to an island that's not open yet, but will be. We're going to put nature trails out there, and in the future, an amphitheater. So that's going to happen over there. We've got a children's garden going in over there. So we've got lots of plans for that side. But right away, you'll be able to see quite a few sculptures and our butterfly pavilion, and be able to see that beautiful view of the wetland as well. And we're developing the circle, the loop in there, and we're getting ready to install a new garden with the help of the Loveland volunteers. And we just hired our first true horticulturist here at the garden, Vicky, and we're excited because now I don't have to do all of that.
Uh, it-
I'm just being honest, right?
yeah, well, not only the executive director, she's up
I'm like,
there.
I love to garden, I love it, but I don't, you can only do so much in a day.
Are you dressed up as Santa Claus? That
Yeah, that's right.
or Mrs. Santa Claus? That and that's one thing where when you're run by a pretty much an all volunteer, you only have a handful of staff.
Yeah,
When you're run like that, it's really difficult for people to understand that you need volunteers to actually
volunteers.
do the master gardeners ever come out there and
Oh
help?
yes. Oh yes. Our master gardeners are a huge part of our volunteer force. And you don't have to be a master gardener to garden. I just want to make that clear. You don't even have to be a green thumb. We'll put you on something that we're pretty sure you won't kill it. And so no worries with that. And you know what? The other thing is, you don't even have to be a gardener to volunteer. You can volunteer at Gardens Aglow, for example. I just put that out there. We need volunteers. You can come. You can wear a little hat like me and be a little elf and help direct people around the garden, help make sure they don't get lost because it is dark and sometimes you get confused where you are. You can help at our s'more pit. You can help in the gift shop. So the point is there's always opportunities for volunteering. Maybe you have a special skill, like you're a carpenter or an electrician or a plumber. Like I could use you too.
Yeah. And when you're talking about being a volunteer, kids need volunteer hours to graduate from high school. They would be the perfect ones to dress up in costume. I love anytime I get an opportunity to dress in costume.
Exactly.
And why not be that character? How much fun would it be to be an elf?
It's so fun.
Where is that Fig Newton that walks around like a Christmas tree lit up all the time?
That's right. That's right. Oh, and if you find me, I have a different Christmas outfit for every night. So this one I'm showing. This is my Fala Llamas.
Well, no, Adriana, can you sing carols? Can you?
I love to sing. I love to sing actually, but those who know me probably have heard me sing at least a few times. So
well, I'm thinking if you're roasting s'mores around a campfire, that would be a perfect time to actually sing together campfire songs
exactly.
And what a gift to give somebody for an experience, because we have a lot of us in society have too much stuff.
That's right.
And experiences are priceless. They really are. And if you can do something with your family that's safe, that's outdoors, that you'll build memories from. Gardens Aglow is it. And I know when I posted this that we were going to go live for the radio, for this, I normally don't get that much response. And I have people asking questions. Can I bring a walker? Can I bring a wheelchair? Can I bring a stroller? And those kind of things, like, okay. And I'll talk off air because something else dawned on me that you may be able to do, maybe not this year, but in years to come, because who doesn't like a good, like, hayride or something?
That's right. We are working on that. Not this year, but we are working on trying to get a hayride going.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Or a sleigh ride on a hayride.
Exactly. We have to do a hayride here. We're not gonna no snow, but you're right. It is, in a world full of material things, we have too much, and we're looking for things that are helping, when we need to be drawn together, we need to celebrate family and friendships. And this is a perfect way to do that. For
And
sure. I'm out to Gardens Aglow.
it's a beautiful place on the Peace River. That's why it's called the Peace River Botanical and Sculpture Gardens.
That's right.
You'll be able to see what it really is like down in Florida, but in a beautiful way. And I know that a lot of people are familiar with like Selby gardens and that, but they don't have sculptures. They
Nope.
do have botanical, but they don't have sculptures. And that is so unique. And a butterfly garden. Oh,
Yeah.
who around us has a butterfly garden? I don't think. I don't think too many do they, Adriana?
No, they
No.
don't. Not
And
as a permanent feature.
no. So I am really thankful that you were on with us today. And also, just a side note is my husband put into the wells at the botanical gardens.
Oh, good.
Yeah, well, we were still while he was still drilling. I don't drill, but yes. And I think they're 300 and some feet deep. They're pretty deep.
There's some serious wells.
Yeah, they're really
I
deep.
do remember you telling me that he had put the wells in. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I actually had to go out there for something during that time when he was doing it. And I didn't know that was when they were just in the beginning. And then
probably just starting. We hadn't got everything out there yet.
Right. So, Adriana, thank you so much. And for all of you people out there, you're looking for an experience, buy experiences for your holiday season and for your families. There's a lot of them out there that people are being creative to come up with. But let me tell you, one of the first places I am going to go to when I get out of my house will be the Peace River Botanical and Sculpture Gardens in Punta Gorda. And you can call them for tickets, 941-621-8299, or also go online to Peace River Sculpture Gardens. Go ahead.
Oh, peacerivergardens.org.
I was trying to find it on the screen and it didn't come through.
That's
yet.
all right. I got it in my head. So.
Well, as well as you should. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in with us today. And I am Marie LaBrosse. My guest today was Adriana Quiñones.
Do it.
Quiñones.
Just say Adri Q.
Adrian Q. Adriana Q. And thank you so much. Have a great day. You've been listening to Marie LaBrosse on WKDW 97.5 FM, Rural Community Radio. We're here for you, run by the people, for the people, and all volunteer 501c3 radio station. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Have a great and blessed holiday. And be safe out there. Thank you.